Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is a post-vacation check-in. I wanted to go around and show you all of my plants and how they fared while I was on vacation. Also, this video is sponsored by Green Chef, so thank you so much to them for sponsoring. So I showed you guys how I prepared my plants for vacation. So basically, I just watered everything. Everything did really awesome. I didn't have any casualties. I did have some plants that definitely looked thirsty, but all in all, everything looked really great. And I think that has to do with the fact that number one, everything got a drink before I left. Number two, it was very humid in this room during the time I was gone because it was raining nearly every single day. And this room, this sunroom, is more or less a reflection of the weather outside because it doesn't have any like air conditioning or heating in here. So if it's around 70 degrees out there, it's probably gonna be around 70 degrees in here. Anyway, it was very humid in here. So I think that really helped the plants hold on to their moisture. And that's really good news because I'm actually leaving for another trip tomorrow morning and I'm going to visit home to see my family for my sister's graduation. So I'm excited to see home. I'm super excited to see the desert. It is so beautiful this time of year. And yeah, I am battling some allergies here because it is like pollen city outside. I'm like looking outside and I can just see like waves of yellow in the air and like I have really bad seasonal allergies. So I've been popping some Claritin and just hoping for the best. But anyway, I just got through watering everything outside. So I took all of the plants from in this sunroom and I brought it all outside. So I'm gonna insert the footage of watering outside and how I did it and how I used my watering bench, and then we will get to some other plant chores.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.
Okay, so after I brought in all of the plants, I was putting them down and I actually crowded them a little bit too much, like more than I actually need to. So I probably will at some point spread them out a little bit more, but I wanted to show you some new growth and new leaves that we got while I was gone because I'm really excited about it. Okay, so this is my silver sword and it is putting out this huge leaf. I mean, I just really think this is going to be one of the biggest leaves on the plant. Like, it might be around this size or bigger, which is super exciting. All of the new leaves so far have come out looking like not good, just like ripped or something like that, or around this size, like not super big leaves, not very impressive. So I'm hoping that this one will be really big. Fingers crossed. But speaking of big leaves, look at this Anthurium balaenum. This leaf is 13 inches long, which is the biggest leaf that it has put out so far in my care. Like, look at it. Huge. Okay, my hand is making it not look that big. Maybe I have big hands. Anyway. It's still pretty soft, so I feel like it could still grow a little bit more, but look at how amazing it looks in this corner with all of this different leaf texture and color. I love the way that this looks. It's so cool. The last leaf that it put out was this one, which is only like 10 inches long. So we have like a really big jump from this leaf to this leaf, and I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe it was getting, you know, enough water. Maybe it was, I have no idea actually why it suddenly is jumping in leaf size because it's not climbing anything. And I have considered propagating this plant because look at how long that stem is. I don't know. I haven't like committed to doing anything, but I might. we'll see. And then we have my Philodendron Splendid, which put out this leaf most recently, which is looking a lot bigger. So this is also sort of a plants on planks update, because this plant has been on a plank since probably this leaf maybe. And it put out this leaf next, which wasn't that big, but then this one, it definitely grew in size. And this next leaf is a big one. Like you can already see that that is much bigger than this one. And those aerial roots are a lot longer than they normally are. So I feel like that means something. Hopefully it will attach soon, but actually I kind of hope that it doesn't, because I would like to chop and prop, because we have a really long stem at the bottom with some leaves that are just dying off. So I'd probably cut it like maybe about right here and then reroot and put it back at the bottom of the pole. Then I'd use this same exact, post, because this plant grows really fast and it needs something really tall, and I kind of like this one for it. This leaf on my Thai constellation hardened off finally, so it's at its full size and color, and it's so beautiful. I love this like creamy section. I love that my monstera, like my monsteras don't usually have, or my variegated monsteras don't usually have big sectoral like whiteness or cream, and I really like that. I really like more of this like speckle and like lighter green colors. But as I say that, my Albo monstera actually put out this leaf, which has a big white section and some fenestrations, which is really exciting because it has not put out fenestrations in a long time. So I'm happy to see that. But the reason I don't really love the white sections is because they inevitably will do this, and depending on how you're caring for the plant and if it is happy, it'll take a lot longer. Like this plant or this leaf has been around for a really long time, like I'd say a year or more, and it is only just now getting this brown piece. But leaves that look like this will hold on to that white section a lot better because there's a lot of green here to hold on to it. So I love getting leaves like this or leaves like this, just to help the plant stay balanced. And if your plant puts out a leaf like this, don't worry, the variegation is sort of in and out, especially on a plant like this. You never know what you're gonna get, and that's why it's super exciting. Like it put out this leaf and then it put out this leaf, and those are two very differently variegated leaves, so just roll with it. I completely forgot the name of this plant, but she is so beautiful, and I moved it to be more up front and center because I feel like it needs more attention, and is putting out a new leaf, which is super cute and exciting. That should definitely be out by the time I return from my next trip. And then the last super exciting big leaf is this one from my Anthurium veitchii, which is the king Anthurium, and it is just looking so good. This leaf is about 12 inches long, so about 1 foot, and that is really exciting because so far the leaves that it's put out previously were pretty small. So I'm excited to see this big leaf, and unfortunately it does have some imperfections, but honestly that's fine. This leaf also has imperfections, and it's been a really good leaf for me since I've had the plant. So hopefully this leaf will continue to grow a little bit bigger before it hardens off, but I'm just really excited to see the trajectory of this plant. If it just put out this leaf, I can imagine they're just going to keep getting bigger. And then also my veitchii put out this bloom, which is super cute. Okay, everybody, it's been a few hours and I have the worst allergies. I have been trying to combat them like all day. I've been blowing my nose. I took a Claritin, just allergies are happening really bad. So anyway, if it looks like I'm on the verge of tears this entire time, I'm not, it's just allergies. Okay, so I wanted to take a brief moment to talk about Green Chef, which is today's sponsor. And I have a box from them, and I planned this box to arrive for us when we got back from our trip, because honestly, cooking after a vacation is the last thing that I want to do. So in this box, I've got 3 meals. Food comes pre-portioned and mostly prepped in these bags right here. And then underneath those bags, sandwiched between some ice blocks, you will find the meat. And speaking of meat, if you've watched my videos from Green Chef for a while, you know that I sort of flip-flop between the vegan and, just regular diet pretty frequently, just depending on how I'm feeling that month. So Green Chef is a CCOF certified organic company, and they have options for keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. So if you have allergies or just preferences, it's a really great option. And also I think it's really cool that they have 24 meal options each week, so you can find something that you like within your meal plan so that you're staying with the, you know, food lifestyle that you want to go with. So you can head down to the link in the description box below and use the code DELAPLANTS130 for $130 off plus free shipping on your first box. Go to greenchef.com for more details. I've just finished cooking. I made it through an entire cooking of a meal without sneezing. I feel very proud of myself. But we're gonna do a taste test. I'm very excited about this. It has a lot of really yummy smells. I'm so excited. Okay, I think it's had at least a little bit of time to cool down. Mmm. That is delicious. If you're interested in checking out Green Chef, I'll have the offer on the screen for you. Go check them out, they're amazing. And let's get back into the video. Now before I leave town again, I need to do a little bit more watering, which is probably boring at this point, but that is what I'm up to. I feel like traveling is really fun and all, but what usually, like what my plant care ends up looking like when I am traveling is watering all of my plants at one time and then leaving for a week and then having to do it all over again when I get back, which is not exactly fun. But, you know, it's the price we pay for having plants and being a globetrotter. I'm not a globetrotter. I'm visiting Tucson, so, you know. But anyway, after I repotted these Hoya, I am committed to watering them more often so that they can actually have new growth and grow as they're supposed to. I am probably going to be moving these to a different part of my house as well, where they're going to get more light, because especially now that the trees have leaves again, there's not going to be a lot of direct light coming into the south window, so I'm gonna have to move these because I want optimal growth. So I'll probably move these to the plant room after I move some plants outside, which I've already done. I've moved 2 plants outside already. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like how I am setting that up this year. Okay, so this is my setup for my plants outside this year. I have this bench, which I got off of Marketplace, and I don't really know what to do with it. Like, I thought that it would look cute in this spot, but then I realized, oh shoot, that's where my plants go when I put them outside. And it's a really great spot for them because it is directly underneath this huge oak tree, which I think is the source of a lot of my allergies right now because there's a lot of pollen coming off of it. And my dogs bring it in, I bring it in on my shoes, it's just a mess. Here's my big philodendron stellum or Thaumatophyllum bipennatophytum, something like that. Thaumatophyllum. So I've been so excited to bring this one outside because it does so much better outside. It's obviously really, really big, and there's not a great spot for it in my home. So definitely when I have the greenhouse up and running and it's too cold for it outside, it will be going in the greenhouse because it is just way too big for in the house. Okay, sorry, I just got distracted by that butterfly over there. It's really pretty. Okay, so then I have my Ficus taniki down here, if you can see that through the leaves. And then my Ficus lyrata, fiddle leaf fig, my Ficus elastica. Hopefully this one will, you know, do a lot of good work this summer. It did quite a bit last summer, and it didn't do anything over the winter, so hopefully being out here will be nice for it. I might even chop and prop it because as you can see there's a really big gap in there. And then I've just brought out my very large what is this called? White Ghost Euphorbia, which a lot of you might not have ever seen before because it's in a room where it doesn't get a lot of attention. So I brought it out last year and I didn't like ease it out and it got a really bad sunburn. So that's what it looks like when these get sunburned. Cacti and succulents can handle full sun, but not right away. All of these plants probably could do full sun at some point, but not right away. They need to ease into it. which is why I really like this spot, because it is pretty dappled shade all day. Like the only time that I saw direct sunlight on the fiddle leaf fig was maybe, I don't know, maybe around noon, like some light was getting through the leaves, but honestly, like you can see there's like an opening there, like there's some little openings, but it's not that much, and it didn't burn the plant at all, and it was out here all day. And then at the end of the day, we get a little bit of exposure from the west. As you can see, there is some direct light on the leaves, but it's not that intense because it's going through several trees before it even gets there. So anyway, that is the setup that I have. This is the spot that I've chosen for them. Again, I don't know what I'm going to do with this bench. I might bring that out to the garden area so that I have somewhere to just like pop a squat out there, because right now all I have is like just the garden beds themselves to sit on. So I think it might be cute out there if I have space for it. We'll have to see, but I'd also like to do some sort of shelving situation like in front of it, like where the bench is, so that I could put more like smaller pots out here. Just to see what kind of happens. And I did initially think that this corner would be better, and it probably would be actually, now that I think about it. Although I haven't thought about this little sliver of light right here. That might let sun in like right at the top of the day when it's the most hot. I'm not quite sure, but definitely when you're doing this, make sure that you have a good spot that is in full shade to deep shade, maybe a little bit of dappled light like this, but no more than that for your houseplants, unless you're willing to like really work them up. And then in that situation, it's only a few of them that could handle that anyway. Yeah, this would definitely be more ideal, but we have this wood rack here, and sorry, I was cleaning in the backyard, so I've got some like random bits sitting there. But anyway, I keep my garden tools in that mailbox, by the way. That mailbox is from our wedding. That's what we put our cards in, so it was really actually very helpful and watertight place to put all of our cards. Not that it rained or anything, but if anyone is getting married. And then I have so much to do out here as far as like flowers go. I went over to my neighbor's house to pick up a box because she grabbed a box for me while I was in Ireland, and I was just once again reminded how tragic this garden bed is and how inspired I am to just do something with it this year. So when I get back from Arizona, I'm really gonna be doing a lot of planting and shopping and all of that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of potential here. I mean, I did do some planting last year. I planted I think 3 rose bushes. So this whole planter box or whatever is full of roses, yarrow, and we'll have, this is phlox. As you can see, they are starting to bloom, and so is the yarrow, which is really cool. But anyway, there's another yarrow. I hope that the yarrow just like spreads everywhere because I really like it. It is already starting to spread a little bit. You can see these 2 just on the outside, but I really like it. I find it to be a really nice like filler, and it likes crappy soil. That's what garden answer Laura says. So I'm really happy about that because I don't think the soil in here is that great. Anyway, so all 3 of the new rose bushes that I planted last year came back looking so good. Like this looks so full. It already has a bunch of beautiful blooms like ready to come out. This one actually looks pretty ready relatively soon. But this is one that was left over from the previous owner, and so was this one and this one. And those 3 just look really bad. I don't know. I might move them and plant other roses in that spot because they just look really bad and they're like in the middle of everything. So the ones that I planted are also this one, which looks really nice, and then this one. And I believe that this one is like super fragrant. It's the same one as the one on the end. And then I think this one has like pink roses. This is a pink. That's a pink, I think, and then yellow. Oh, and I also planted this like grass, but they're not really coming back. I mean, that one is coming back, but it's hard to tell like what's a weed and what's not. I did some weeding in here and that's why it looks horrible. But anyway, garden chat aside. All right, plant friends. The sun is in my eyes right now, but I just wanted to give you a big thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing me do some post-vacation plant chores, checking in on the plants and how they did. I honestly am so pleased with how they did. I think that it was a big success. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Green Chef down below. I love them. They made this transition between vacation and back home so easy. I highly recommend them just for, you know, life ease, making your life easier. We love that. I will have that link down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.